Good morning and happy Monday, boys and girls. So as you've seen with the video from Khan Academy, we are going to be working this week on multiplying fractions and whole numbers. We will still be reviewing a few other concepts a little bit later in the week, but we need to get a good base on this. I know that we've previewed this before leaving for this long break. However, we do need to make sure we have a really good understanding of this concept. So in looking at the worksheet that you have with the practice sheet of 4 and a 4, I'm going to show you on here how to do a few things. Because I know a lot of you are doing this on paper instead of on the worksheet. If it's on the worksheet, you know that you have the front and the back to do work on. So to start, I'm going to work on number 1 with you. Looking at number 1, I'm going to use the repeated addition strategy that you were shown through Khan Academy. On number 2, we're going to work on putting that 1 under the whole number, and we'll use that strategy for number 2. And then you're welcome to choose either one to complete the rest of your work. So looking at number 1, you have 6 times 3 eighths. And looking and thinking about the repeated addition strategy, this is going to tell us that we need to add 3 eighths 6 times. So we're going to pull this out into an addition sentence with 3 eighths plus 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 3 eighths. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 eighths. In adding together, we know that with adding fractions, your denominator is not going to change. So we can keep that 8 as your denominator. Looking at the top in our numerator, we're going to add the 3's. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. Now, you could leave this as your final answer, but we know that we need to still working on that converting your improper fractions into mixed numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and see how many times 8 can go into 18. Thinking about the base 10 strategy, I'm going to draw my 110 and my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ones. Starting with our 10s, we cannot make a group of 8. So we are going to cross this 10 off and bring 10 more over to our 1s. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In total, you should have 18 ones. Always check that before you start looking for your groups. Now, making groups of 8 based upon our divisor, we're going to have 1 and 2 groups. So that 2 is going to go on top. We are going to circle our whole box, what is left over, and we're going to underline that divisor to keep working on our circle box underline method. This can then be brought out into a circle, a box, and an underline. In the circle, you are going to just bring that whole number over for a 2. Whatever is boxed, that is now your new numerator. So since we have 2 left, that's going to go on top. And then we have 8 as our divisor, and that is not going to change as your denominator. The only time that 8 is going to change or your denominator is going to change is if you can simplify. So checking over our final answer of 2 and 2 eighths, we can see that 2 and 8 are both even. That's going to tell us that we can simplify. We are going to start our simplifying by 2 since they are both even, and we're going to see what we get. Do not forget, boys and girls, that this whole number does not simplify. It does stay the same, and you do need to add it every time that you move down. So that 2 whole is going to stay. 2 divided by 2 for our numerator is now going to give us a 1. 8 divided by 2 is going to give us 4. Looking at this now simplified answer, we know that 4 is even. However, the 1 is not, so we cannot simplify anymore since 1/4 is a unit fraction. So this is going to be our final answer of 2 and 1/4 for number 1. Looking at number 2, we are going to use the other strategy that you're welcome to use. So again, repeated addition is one of the strategies you can use. The other one that we're going to look at with 3 times 3/4. This is a strategy that we've previewed in class together where you simply just put that imaginary 1 on the bottom. Any whole number can be put over 1. It's not going to change the value of that whole number. And so this way you can now just multiply straight across. In doing that, 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. 1 times 4 is going to give us 4. Whether you choose to do the repeated addition strategy or the imaginary 1 strategy, your denominator is not going to change. Now, looking at our 9/4, again, this could be your final answer, but we're going to keep working on converting them into mixed numbers. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many times can 4 go into 9? So we're going to draw out our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones. Looking at our divisor, that's going to tell us how many ones need to go into a group. So we're going to circle 4 and 4. That's going to give us 2 groups. We are going to circle how many groups we got, box what is left, and then underline that divisor. Following the same strategy we did on top of our circle, box, underline, 2 is circled, so that is our new whole number. 1 is boxed, so that is our numerator. 4 is underlined, so that stays our denominator. Again, like we did on top, we do need to check to see if we can simplify it any further. Looking at my 1/4, it is a unit fraction, so we cannot go any further. So for number 2, our final answer is going to be 2 1/4. What I would love for you to do, boys and girls, is go ahead and keep working out the rest of the problems. When you have final answers, let me know and I will go on and check your work.